The future is here. It's not flying cars or teleportation, not yet anyway. Artificial intelligence is weaving into our lives almost invisibly. Virtual assistants like Siri and Alexa have become our digital companions. Machines are no longer just tools, they are becoming something more. It's a future brimming with possibilities, but also potential pitfalls. At the heart of this AI revolution lies the large language model, or LLM. What does their rise mean for the future of humanity? Imagine teaching a child to read. You start with simple words, then sentences, gradually building their vocabulary and comprehension. LLMs learn in a similar way, but instead of children's books, they devour massive amounts of digital text. We're talking about billions of words drawn from books, articles, websites, and more. This vast ocean of data becomes the LLM's training ground. These models are built on complex algorithms, but their basic function is surprisingly simple: pattern recognition. As an LLM ingests text, it begins to identify patterns, learning the relationships between words, phrases, and even ideas. It's like solving a giant, intricate puzzle, where each piece of text helps the LLM form a clearer picture of human language. The more data an LLM processes, the more sophisticated its understanding of language becomes. It's not just about memorizing words. It's about grasping the nuances of grammar, syntax, and even the subtle ways we use language to convey meaning and emotion. This is where the magic happens, where lines of code seem to transcend their digital origins and approach something akin to human understanding. But LLMs are not sentient beings. They are sophisticated tools, reflecting the data they are trained on. They can mimic human-like conversation, generate creative text formats, and even translate languages with remarkable accuracy. Yet they do not understand language in the way humans do. They lack the lived experience, the emotional intelligence that shapes our relationship with words. To truly demystify LLMs, we need to peek behind the curtain, to understand the mechanics of their creation. Imagine a vast library, filled with books in every language imaginable. Now picture an army of digital librarians tirelessly scanning and cataloging each book, storing its contents in a central database. This is the essence of LLM training. The digital librarians are actually sophisticated algorithms, designed to extract information from text and organize it in a way the LLM can understand. They identify keywords, analyze sentence structure, and even try to decipher the author's intent. This process is known as natural language processing, or NLP, and it forms the foundation of LLM training. But collecting and processing data is just the first step. The real magic happens during the training phase. This is where the LLM, armed with its vast knowledge of language, is given a task, a challenge to solve. It might be asked to predict the next word in a sentence, summarize a long article, or even write a poem in the style of Shakespeare. Through trial and error, guided by its algorithms and the vast data set at its disposal, the LLM begins to learn. It makes mistakes, adjusts its parameters, and tries again. This iterative process, repeated millions of times, gradually hones the LLM's abilities, transforming it from a digital novice into a language savant. Imagine a young apprentice eager to learn the craft of a master artisan. The apprentice starts not by creating masterpieces, but by observing, mimicking, and practicing basic techniques. They study the master's every move, internalizing the nuances of the craft. This is akin to how an LLM learns. It begins its journey by immersing itself in a sea of text, absorbing the patterns and rules of human language. Initially, the LLM might be tasked with predicting the next word in a sequence. Like a child learning to read, it stumbles, making mistakes, but with each attempt it learns from its errors. The algorithms guiding the LLM provide feedback, nudging it towards a better understanding of language structure and meaning. As the LLM progresses, the tasks become more challenging. It might be asked to summarize paragraphs, identify the sentiment in a sentence, or even generate short stories. Through this constant practice, the LLM develops a remarkable ability to manipulate and generate human-like text. It's like watching the apprentice blossom, their creations becoming increasingly sophisticated and refined. This process of learning through trial and error is what sets LLMs apart. They don't rely on pre-programmed rules or dictionaries. They learn from the data itself, extracting meaning and understanding from the vast corpus of text they consume. It's a testament to the power of data-driven learning where raw information is transformed into something approaching intelligence. Section 2. The power of prediction. At the heart of a large language model's abilities lies a simple yet profound concept: prediction. These models are essentially prediction machines, constantly anticipating the next word, the next sentence, the next idea. But this isn't about fortune-telling, it's about recognizing patterns and probabilities within the structure of language. Think about how we communicate. We don't randomly string words together. We follow grammatical rules, rely on common phrases, and build upon shared cultural knowledge. Large language models tap into this underlying structure, learning to anticipate what comes next based on the vast amount of text they've processed. Let's say you give a large language model the sentence, "The cat sat on the..." Based on its training data, the model can predict, with high probability, that the next word is mat. It's not because the model understands the concept of a cat or a mat, but because it has recognized the statistical likelihood of these words appearing together in similar contexts. This predictive power is what enables large language models to generate such human-like text. By stringing together these probabilistic predictions, they can create everything from coherent paragraphs to engaging stories, all while maintaining a semblance of grammatical accuracy and logical flow. Section 3. Lost in translation? Not really. One of the most impressive feats of large language models is their ability to translate languages. Remember those clunky online translators of the past, churning out nonsensical phrases? Large language models have left those in the dust, offering translations that are often indistinguishable from those crafted by human experts. How do they do it? Think of it as learning to speak a new language by immersing yourself in a foreign culture. You start by picking up basic phrases, then gradually discern the nuances of grammar and idiom. Large language models follow a similar path, but instead of cultural immersion, they have data, mountains of it. They are trained on massive data sets of parallel text, meaning the same text in multiple languages. By analyzing these paired texts, large language models identify patterns and relationships between words and phrases across different languages. They learn not just vocabulary, but also the subtle differences in grammar and syntax. The result? Large language models can now translate between dozens of languages, often capturing the tone, style, and even the humor of the original text. This has profound implications for global communication, breaking down language barriers and fostering cross-cultural understanding. Section 4. Beyond words, images, and sounds. While large language models excel at processing and generating text, their capabilities extend beyond the realm of words alone. Researchers are now developing multimodal large language models that can understand and interact with multiple types of data, including images and sounds. Imagine showing a large language model a picture of a cat sitting on a mat. A multimodal model could not only identify the objects in the image but also generate a caption like, "A fluffy cat relaxing on a cozy mat." It's like teaching the model to see and interpret the world around it, just as humans do. Similarly, imagine playing a piece of music to a large language model. A multimodal model could analyze the melody, rhythm, and instrumentation, perhaps even generating a description like a melancholic piano piece evoking a sense of longing. It's about expanding the model's sensory perception, allowing it to experience the world through multiple modalities. This fusion of language with other data types opens up exciting possibilities. Imagine large language models that can generate realistic movie scripts complete with scene descriptions, compose music to accompany specific emotions, or even design websites based on verbal instructions. The potential is vast and largely unexplored.
'Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah,
Section 5, the art of fine-tuning. Training a large language model from scratch, well, it requires massive computational resources and honestly a lot of expertise. Fortunately, there's a much more accessible approach: fine-tuning. Think of it as taking a pre-trained LLM, one that's already proficient in language, and then specializing its skills for a specific task. Imagine you have a talented chef who excels at preparing a wide range of dishes. Now you want them to focus on perfecting a particular cuisine, let's say Italian. You wouldn't start their training from scratch, right? You'd build upon their existing culinary foundation. Fine-tuning an LLM is pretty similar to that. For example, let's say you want to use an LLM for medical diagnosis. You could fine-tune a pre-trained LLM on a dataset of medical textbooks, research papers, and patient records. This specialized training would allow the LLM to better understand medical terminology, symptoms, and treatment options. Fine-tuning is, in a way, like giving an LLM a crash course in a specific domain. It allows us to leverage the power of pre-trained LLMs while tailoring their abilities to meet specific needs. Fueling the LLM engine. Imagine an LLM as a chef preparing a grand feast. The ingredients? Absolutely crucial. Quality and diversity of data dictate its capabilities. Like a chef avoiding spoiled ingredients, researchers must mitigate biases. The goal? LLMs that are intelligent, fair, and trustworthy. Section 2, the curse of bias. Reflecting our imperfections. Imagine training an LLM solely on fairy tales. That LLM might become incredibly skilled at generating whimsical stories about princesses and dragons, but its understanding of the real world, it would be, well, pretty skewed. This really highlights a fundamental challenge with LLMs. They inherit the biases present in their training data. The internet, for all its wonders, is full of biases. Gender stereotypes, racial prejudices, cultural insensitivities, these biases are everywhere in online content, often unconsciously embedded. And when an LLM ingests this data, it inadvertently learns these biases, reproducing them in its output. For instance, an LLM trained on text data predominantly written by men might associate leadership qualities more strongly with men than women. This could lead to biased outputs, like automatically assigning male pronouns to professions such as doctor or CEO. Addressing bias in LLMs isn't just a technical challenge, it's really a societal imperative. It requires a conscious effort to identify and mitigate biases in training data, to develop algorithms that promote fairness, and to engage in ongoing ethical evaluations of LLM outputs. At the end of the day, it's about ensuring these incredibly powerful tools reflect the best of humanity, not amplify its flaws. Section 3. The algorithm whisperers guiding the learning process. Imagine teaching a child to ride a bicycle. You wouldn't just hand them the bike and expect them to master it instantly. You'd provide guidance, support, and encouragement along the way. Similarly, training a large language model requires more than just data. It necessitates the expertise of algorithm whisperers, the engineers and researchers who guide the learning process. These skilled individuals design and refine the complex algorithms that underpin LLM training. They act as mentors, nudging the LLM towards a deeper understanding of language, correcting errors, and fine-tuning its performance. It's a delicate dance between providing structure and allowing the LLM to learn and adapt independently. One crucial aspect of their role involves choosing the right learning architecture. Just as there are different teaching methods for different subjects, there are various algorithmic approaches to LLM training. Some algorithms excel at capturing long-range dependencies in text, while others are better at understanding semantic relationships between words. Algorithm whisperers also play a critical role in monitoring the LLM's progress, identifying overfitting, where the LLM memorizes the training data instead of generalizing from it, and ensuring that the LLM's outputs align with ethical considerations. Their expertise is essential in shaping LLMs that are not only powerful but also reliable, unbiased, and aligned with human values. Section 4. From gobbledygook to Shakespeare. The stages of LLM evolution. Imagine a child learning to speak. Babbling evolves into words, then sentences. Similarly, LLMs start with gibberish, gradually producing coherent text. With more training, LLMs grasp nuances, humor, and mimic styles, akin to a child writing essays or poems. This transformation showcases the power of data-driven learning, turning digital novices into language virtuosos. Section 5. The mystery of emergence. Unforeseen abilities. Like an unexpected plant in a garden, LLMs develop emergent abilities, skills not explicitly programmed. They solve puzzles, perform arithmetic, and unlock cognitive skills, surprising even their creators. These abilities highlight both the potential and unpredictability of LLMs, expanding the boundaries of AI. Section 6. The balancing act. Trade-offs in LLM design. Designing LLMs is like building a skyscraper. Ambition must balance with practicality. Larger models are powerful but costly, while fine-tuning for accuracy risks bias. The goal is to create ethical, accessible LLMs that empower humanity without exacerbating challenges. Section 1. The rise of the machines. LLMs in our midst. LLMs power everyday tools like Siri and chatbots, shaping digital interactions. Beyond convenience, they automate tasks, translate languages, and assist creatively. Understanding LLMs is essential as they become integral to our AI-driven world. Section 2. Virtual assistants, your friendly neighborhood AI. Virtual assistants like Alexa and Siri simplify life, understanding natural language with precision. They control devices, make purchases, and even translate languages, evolving into indispensable companions. The future promises even greater personalization and integration into daily life. Section 3. The right stuff, LLMs and the future of content. LLMs automate repetitive writing tasks, freeing humans for creative, critical work. They assist journalists, marketers, and novelists, amplifying human creativity rather than replacing it. The future lies in collaboration, blending AI efficiency with human emotional depth. Section 4. Breaking down language barriers. LLMs as global communicators. LLMs revolutionize translation, capturing nuances of tone and style. They enable seamless global communication, fostering cultural exchange and understanding. Beyond practicality, they preserve endangered languages and build bridges between cultures. Section 5. Personalized learning. LLMs as educational allies. LLMs offer personalized tutoring, adapting to individual learning styles and needs. They assist teachers with grading and planning, freeing them to inspire and mentor students. The future of education is one of collaboration, with LLMs enhancing learning experiences. Section 6. Beyond the horizon. Exploring the untapped potential of LLMs. LLMs could revolutionize fields like drug discovery, urban design, and creative arts. Realizing their potential requires ethical development and collaboration across disciplines. Together, we can harness LLMs to address global challenges and empower humanity. Section 1. The double-edged sword. Navigating the risks of LLMs. LLMs, like any tool, can be used for good or harm. They can educate and create or spread misinformation and amplify biases. Responsible development and critical thinking are key to ensuring LLMs benefit society. Section 2. The bias amplifier. When LLMs perpetuate our flaws. LLMs reflect the biases in their training data, sometimes amplifying harmful stereotypes. Addressing bias requires inclusive datasets, fairness-focused algorithms, and ethical oversight. These efforts are essential to ensure LLMs help overcome, not perpetuate, societal prejudices. Section 3. The misinformation machine. Fabricating facts and sowing discord. Imagine a world where fabricated news articles spread like wildfire, where convincingly written propaganda sways public opinion. and where distinguishing truth from falsehood becomes a Herculean task. This is the potential danger of LLMs in the wrong hands, the ability to weaponize language, to generate misinformation at a scale and with a sophistication never before imagined. LLMs, with their ability to mimic human writing styles and generate coherent narratives, can be used to create fake news articles, social media posts, or even entire websites that appear deceptively authentic. This fabricated content, often laced with emotional triggers and designed to exploit existing biases, can spread rapidly through online networks, sowing discord, manipulating public opinion, and eroding trust in legitimate sources of information. Imagine a scenario where an LLM is used to generate fake news articles about a political candidate during an election, or to spread rumors about a company's financial stability, causing stock prices to plummet. The potential for malicious actors to exploit LLMs for propaganda, disinformation campaigns, or even to incite violence is a chilling prospect. Combating this threat requires a multi-pronged approach. It involves developing tools to detect and flag AI-generated misinformation, promoting media literacy to help people discern fact from fiction, and holding platforms accountable for the content they host. It also requires ongoing research into the capabilities of LLMs, anticipating future threats and developing safeguards to mitigate their potential for harm. Striking a balance between empowerment and over-reliance. Imagine a world where we rely on GPS for every step, prepackaged meals for every meal, and algorithms for every decision. The challenge is finding balance, using LLMs to empower, not replace, our creativity and critical thinking. These tools should augment our abilities, fostering ingenuity and independence. Section 1. A future forged in collaboration. We stand at the confluence of fear and possibility. The emergence of LLMs, these remarkable mimics of human language, stirs both anxieties and aspirations. Will they render us obsolete, mere appendages to silicon overlords? Or will they amplify our capabilities, freeing us to explore new horizons of creativity and knowledge? The answer, like the technology itself, is not preordained. It hinges on the choices we make today. The future we are building with LLMs is not a dystopian nightmare of machine dominance, nor is it a utopian fantasy of effortless ease. It is a future forged in collaboration, a tapestry woven from the threads of human ingenuity and artificial intelligence. Like any powerful tool, LLMs can be wielded for good or ill. It is our ethical responsibility, our shared duty, to ensure they are used to uplift humanity, not to undermine it. Imagine a world where LLMs empower doctors to diagnose diseases with greater accuracy, where they help educators personalize learning experiences for every student, where they enable architects to design sustainable cities that minimize our environmental footprint. Imagine a world where LLMs break down language barriers, fostering cross-cultural understanding and promoting global collaboration to solve our planet's most pressing challenges. This is the future we can build together. A future where LLMs are not seen as a threat but as a powerful ally in our pursuit of knowledge, progress, and a more just and equitable world. Section 2. Our ethical imperative. The journey ahead is not without its challenges. How do we prevent the spread of misinformation and propaganda? We must establish clear ethical guidelines grounded in transparency, accountability, and fairness. If guided by ethics, these tools can unlock breakthroughs and create a sustainable, equitable future. Let us write this story wisely with courage, compassion, and a shared commitment to humanity.